Columbine High School, Los Angeles Jewish Community Center, West Paducah, Kentucky High School. In the spring of 2000, our then 6-year-old daughter, Sophie, wrote to Rosie O'Donnell and appeared then on her show and then even marched with her in Washington, D.C. But she appeared on her show talking about kids and guns and how she wanted the shooting to stop. That was in 2000. In 2000, I was just a mom who knew absolutely nothing about firearm policy. A copy of Sophie's 3-page colorful letter that she wrote hangs right now in my Capitol office, right by my desk. I see that letter every single day. Fast forward, Virginia Tech, Tucson, Arizona, Congressman Gabby Giffords, Aurora, Colorado, movie theater, and then Sandy Hook Elementary School. It's really hard to still say that, Sandy Hook Elementary School. But last week I was honored and really excited to be able to participate with Vice President Joe Biden on a very small conference call with a group of Midwestern mayors and himself, and lending our proposals to the initiatives that was presented to the President, which he announced yesterday. And then I also filed House Bill 187, Missouri Universal Background Checks for all firearm sales. Well, as you know, I am a very outspoken member of the Minority Caucus in Jefferson City. I can predict that that bill will not even get a hearing. But what you need to know right now is that 60% of all gun sales are done through licensed dealers. 60% of gun sales throughout the country in Missouri are legal. And so 40%, and as you heard from Chief Wolf, 40% of gun sales are not done. Well, they're done legally now because we have a giant loophole by unlicensed dealers at gun shows, even on the internet. In the last couple of years, it's the internet that has really taken off in terms of gun sales. We've got, law enforcement has to have background checks on every single gun sale, and I'm so glad that the President included that in his major policy proposal. But that's what's happened on the Democratic side. Let me tell you about the other side of the aisle in the last couple of weeks, or all of this actually since the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. House Bill 70, arming teachers. House Bill 170, and actually House Bill 209, both of them almost identical, saying that federal officials cannot enforce federal law pertaining to guns in Missouri. You ever heard something a little crazy? House Bill 162, Missouri Freedom Act, that all guns made in Missouri are not subject to federal law. You laugh, people, but this is serious in Jefferson City. Senate Bill 150, also again, federal gun laws would not be enforceable in Missouri. That's what's going on in Jefferson City. That's what's been going on. We've been there for 6 days. And already these bills are filed. And already tonight, they're telling us that the Army teachers bill is going to fly. We've got superintendents throughout the state, urban, suburban, rural, who are coming out saying this is wrong. We've got health professionals. We've got pediatricians coming out saying this is wrong. But as President Obama's initiative, it's titled, and I've got my own copy that I printed off the internet this morning, people, now is the time. And everything is right in here, and I urge you, please go online if you haven't picked up one of the copies we had here tonight. Please read this. It's in very simple English. Now is the time. Some of his legislative proposals include, and you're going to be reading much more about this, but just basically requiring criminal background checks on all gun sales federally, every single state. Right now, there's 33 states that don't have any. And as Chief Wolf mentioned, where are you going to go if you're a criminal, or if you can't pass a background check, or you want to do some straw purchasing, or even gun trafficking? Where are you going to go right now? You're going to go to those 33 states that have no regulation. The President also wants to reinstate the assault weapons ban. You know, it expired after it was renewed under President Clinton. And we know that during the time that it has been expired are mass shootings. Mass shootings are shootings that are over 4 people. Mass shootings have skyrocketed since that ban has lapsed. He also wants to restore 10-round limits on high-capacity magazines. I think most of us in the room here will think that's a common sense idea. Who needs more than 10 rounds? And we do know in several of our recent mass shootings, it was that pause to reload that saved additional lives. Getting rid of armor-piercing bullets. Law enforcement has been calling for this for years. And then also, as the doctors have both suggested tonight, ending the freeze on gun violence research at the federal level. There's more proposed orders out there. You're going to hear a lot of confusing things about executive orders. The President did not sign anything yesterday, but he has proposed things. Some will be executive orders. Some are just things that can be put in place immediately. Giving law enforcement more tools to do their job. Confirming an ATF director. This position's been vacant for 6 years. Making data more available to law enforcement, protecting rights of healthcare providers, as the doctor said, to talk about gun safety. Providing resources for our schools to hire more resource directors and develop emergency management plans. And then lastly, of course, improving our mental health services, which you know, even in Missouri, are the first things on the chopping block. Now, you heard tonight, over 80% of NRA members support these proposals. NRA gun owners support these proposals. So where is the problem? The problem is at the leadership level. And do the math real quick. We have got to stop the NRA from buying legislators. I'm not buying. Many of our members here are not bought. We have got to stop that. Because as we just said, almost 80% of NRA member gun owners support these common sense proposals. It's up to us. And that's what the President said, it's up to us. What kind of country do we want to live in? We go through this wave every 10, 15 years or so of standing up, realizing we've got to do something about gun violence, and then, we kind of give up. I liken it to the plane crash theory. We have to have bigger and more fatalities for us to wake up and realize that our actions are important. We also know more guns equal more violence. And that's the way we're living. But I came to the state capitol as an activist. I still think as an activist. And this gun prevention movement is back. We have to stand up as a people. We have to support the President. We have to support the legislators, both sides of the aisle, who are standing up across the country for gun violence preventions. We have got to stop this. You can make your voices heard very loud and clear. And it's not just about tonight coming to listen to us. That was the easy part, actually, even though you've been sitting here a while. There are things you can do, and that's why we have passed out, Representative Cook tonight, and put together for you. If you didn't get one, please contact us. We'll give them to you, and we're going to broadcast these far and wide. 7 things that you can do right now to end gun violence. Top of the list, you please go home tomorrow. Please call your state senators, your U.S. senators, your congresspeople, and tell them what you want. We hardly ever in the state legislature get calls from constituents. I'm serious. I may get a couple a week. I represent 28,000 people. Same thing with them. Please call them, tell them. I mean, you hired us to represent you, both in Congress and in the legislature. You are in charge, not us. any longer. The NRA is not in charge. You're in charge. So please call them, and then while you're doing that, call the Speaker of the House, Tim Jones, call the Majority Floor Leader, John Deal. They're the only two people in the Missouri State Legislature in the House that decide what legislation is going to fly and how far it goes. They're in charge. These are both gentlemen who live in St. Louis County. As you know, St. Louis County overwhelmingly, as St. Louis City, supports gun violence prevention measures. We've told them over and over again. People, now is the time to tell them once again. So go through this list. You'll see organizations that you can follow, you can support, write letters to your editor. Again, there's only the handful of people that bother to do this. You can do this as well. Do it in the shower in the morning when you're really mad. That's when I do it. Get out, you type up 3 paragraphs, it's done. But you let your voice be heard, and that's what this is about. Spread the word, social media, we're on it now. Use it. That's what got you all here today, if you don't believe it. You know, thanks to Move On, thanks to Facebook and Twitter, that's what got you here. Talk about safe storage, talk about if there are guns where your children visit, where their children play. You've heard the statistics, and then be prepared. On the back side of this, you'll see facts, and you also see myths debunked, Q&A that you can take with you, and statistics you can take with you. So as we move on, and hopefully have some time for a few questions, I want to thank you again for being here tonight, and please don't let this be your last action. Thank you.